So there have been major crash outs all day about Reform saying they want to cut off benefits to foreigners from the usual suspects on the mainstream media.
Is Reform today are announcing more of their proposals for welfare. Today they're saying they could save the country £21 billion by stopping foreign nationals, including people with settled status, accessing almost all benefits. They talk about the current situation being economically illiterate and immoral. What do you make of their plans?
Well, I think, as with so many reform plans, they're not serious. I mean, if you actually follow the logic of what they're proposing, it will mean the withdrawal of support for many, many thousands of people who've lived, worked and contributed to this country, including those with settled status for many years, in decades in some circumstances.
Well, yes, that's what happens when you take something away from someone. What does he mean it's not serious? And thank God, people have had just about enough of going to work for 8 hours a day, so Abdul and his 6 wives can sit around and do nothing and then outbreed us. But this doesn't go nearly far enough in my opinion. I want to stop benefits, housing, healthcare, and anything else the state gives out to non-ethnic European first and second generation immigrants. Just doing that one thing alone would see millions upon millions of people leave the country. And it's the right thing to do because these people will be leaving, whether it's by force or whether they go on their own accord. Eventually they will go, so it's just easier for them to self-deport. By the way, we're only a couple of thousand subscribers away from 50k, so please do subscribe and get involved if you want to. And you can also become a member here on YouTube if you want to support my work further. The link is in the description. Anyways, I really appreciate all the support, I really do, and thanks in advance.
It will also mean, obviously, the ripping up of the UK-EU Trade and Cooperation Agreement, which is premised on support for those nationals. So I don't, as usual, think they have thought through the consequences. We are reforming the welfare system. We're not doing that by crude cuts that put people at risk, that produce costs in other areas. We're looking at the structural drivers of the welfare bill, including the fact we haven't built enough homes, again, back to the planning framework we're publishing today.
Oh yeah, Labour's idea of cutting the welfare bill is by spending billions on the construction of new shoebox-sized homes all over the country so they can jam them with whatever third world random shows up on our shores with a sob story. You see, they want the invasion to continue because they're deranged anti-British scumbags who don't care if we become a minority in our own country. They just want it to continue in an orderly manner, so there are enough boxes to put everyone in, and the state isn't overwhelmed.
But also making support in the welfare system more conditional on the opportunities made available.
But are we going to hear more about when the welfare bill will come down?
We are looking at bringing the welfare bill down, as I say, looking in particular at those structural drivers. When I look in my position as a housing minister at the ballooning housing benefit bill, one of the root causes of that is the fact that we have not built enough genuinely affordable social rented homes over recent years. That's why this government has allocated £39 billion for social and affordable and council house building. We want to really double and triple in the long run the numbers of council homes we're building.
Yeah, so if you read between the lines based on what this man is saying, their primary focus for building social housing and spending 39 billion quid of our money is so that they can house more foreigners. Wouldn't it be nice, just imagine, if we had a government that actually built houses for the native Brits? I know it's a radical concept, but again, just imagine.
On the foreign nationals point, this is a bit that's actually quite close to home here. My mum and dad have been in this country for 40 plus years. They have worked and paid into the system. They have got indefinite leave to remain. If something happened to them, if my dad was in a car accident or whatever it is like that, that safety net falls away. They have been paying into this system for 40 plus years, and because what? They've got the wrong passport.
That doesn't seem right,
Well,
James.
there should be a path to citizenship.
Well, it's not because they've got the wrong passport, it's because they aren't British citizens. It's actually a joke how easily we give out passports in this country. Once you have ILR, you only have to wait 12 months before the government will make you a citizen. And this woman's parents has been here for 40 years. So what, are we supposed to base policy around the fact that her parents are too lazy and they haven't bothered getting a passport in 39 years? It's obviously absurd.
Path to citizenship.
Right, I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to stop you right there, okay? Do you know how difficult it is to get citizenship? I was born in this country. I have lived here all my life. I had only had an Italian passport because my parents got me one. I never had a British one. After Brexit, I got stopped at the border a few times and I didn't have anything to prove that I was born here and didn't have a British passport. I couldn't get a British passport. I had to jump through so many hoops. I had to get my local MP involved. I had to send pay slips from my dad from 40 years ago.
What passport did you have before then?
Italian. had an Italian passport.
Yeah.
This is making people who have paid into the system their whole lives, every safety net from you need childcare, you lose your
EU
job,
bit of
you
it's
lose
going to be
your
a problem,
limbs.
James.
The EU bit of it is going to be a problem, but frankly, I don't understand why Brits living abroad should have access to benefits in other countries. If you're living in Marbella, say, if you're a Brit who's moved to the Costa del Sol, if you're not a Spanish citizen, why should you be receiving benefits from the Spanish system?
Well, so we give out 250,000 passports a year in this country to new immigrants. That means your parents have had 10 million opportunities over the last 40 years to get a passport. But for some reason, you had to get an MP involved. Absolute nonsense.
Well, sorry. So the idea seems to be now from the left that the British people should put up with an immigration policy that firstly delivers a lot of people who don't even earn the average wage in our country. And they should then force the British people to subsidise those foreign nationals because they're often in low-skill, low-wage jobs. No, I'm sorry. The answer for our country is to put the British people first. Here's another stat you're not going to hear on the BBC. In recent data, 11,000 young British people were added to payroll jobs in this country, 11,000. How many non-European young people were added to payroll jobs in this country? Nearly 300,000. What is that telling you? It's telling you we now have a political class in this country that has given up prioritising British people because they would rather import masses of low-wage, low-skill migration from outside Europe and put our own people last. That is not the kind of country I want to live in. It's not the kind of country the British people want to live in. And what you hear from Sebastian is this acceptance of this disastrous status quo, that we should continue subsidizing people who are not making a net contribution because that's the right thing to do. It's not the right thing to do. The right thing to do is put our own people first and build a genuine, prosperous, thriving, dynamic economy.
Sebastian?
Well, let's start with where we agree, Matt. I do think we should put our own people first, but the reality is that that can't happen overnight. And you're right that many people who come from abroad to work here work in low-skilled jobs. But let's look at the reality of what you're proposing. If we take those people away overnight, if we deport them or we remove their benefits so they can't work, then those jobs are unfilled. And they're jobs that people from Britain generally don't want to do because they're not paid very well. And that's, your waiters, your service people, your hospital porters, people we rely on to make the economy work and to make our lives work, will disappear. And that's going to have a really, really detrimental impact on society just to fulfill a bizarre ideological goal that some people within reform, or many people into reform, want to achieve.
Oh yeah, it's really bizarre that native Brits don't want to become a minority in our own countries. I mean, it's simply unexplainable. Who would have thought that people whose ancestors date back thousands of years don't want to be replaced by Mohammed from Pakistan? I wonder if this Muppet would say it's bizarre for Palestinians to want to remain a majority in Palestine. Yeah, I don't think so either. You see, it's only bizarre and racist when Brits say it, but it's not when it's any other non-Western country. Also, our country did fine before we were flooded with millions of low-skilled third worlders, and we'll do just fine once they're gone.